This is the principle of surrender. The ordinary being, he is taking advantage of his strength to advance. But how can he really protect himself? Because he receives the law of karma. According to his previous activities, he must receive a certain level of suffering, of happiness, of poverty, of wealth, and he can only receive the blows of the material energy according to the will of the Lord. Because the Lord is in the heart, and he accompanies all living entities, and he sanctions all activities. Everything you do, even if nobody sees it, he sees it. This is why, when we're a materialist, we think simply going to our means by our own effort. Because in this world, there are innumerable obstacles to go toward happiness. So what do? We cheat, we lie, we steal. And all these activities that we're obliged to do because we find ourselves in situations where we have no choice, we will we'll have to pay for it. This world is made like that, to track us. We have no choice. We find ourselves in situations where we're forced to lie. We're obliged to steal. But when we are a devotee of the Lord, our mentality is different. Because we can feel the Lord, we can have faith in His words, or we can see. There is naturally a nature in us that will appear. When we feel that we're observed by the Supreme, we understand that only Him can protect us, and that our own strength is our worst enemy. When we try on our own to protect ourselves, we cut ourselves from this connection with the Supreme Lord. However, when we depend on the Supreme Lord, naturally, we create the connection. When we depend on Him, from there, please don't make too much noise. When we depend on Him, naturally, He protects His devotee. And when the Lord protects His devotee, naturally we feel a connection, a powerful connection. So this is at a certain level, of course. But even when Krishna comes to Vrindavan, for example, in his pastimes, in Boma Lila, we see that even the Gopas and the Gopis, they're put in circumstances where they have to take shelter of him because there's no choice. For example, when Krishna, we see, for example, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the pastime where Brahma stole the Gopas and the calves, we know that in the morning Krishna wanted to bring all his friends to do a picnic. And so Krishna left with all his friends. And when Krishna leaves with his friends and the cows, it is something that is extraordinarily joyful, because the love in Vrindavan is extremely powerful. It is like detonators inside of us. For example, in this world, we don't have much love. Often the devotees, they dance, they cannot even move their arms. So much they don't have love for Krishna. They keep their arms like this. It's because there's no love. You understand? The body is heavy. It cannot express itself because there's no love. But when there is love, there is such expression. It is something that is difficult to understand. So much it is explosive. So when the gopas and the cows, they live with Krishna, everyone dances. Even the cows, they dance. They're not cows like that. They're ecstatic cows. Everyone dances because there's bliss, because their body, it's a spiritual body. Their feelings, their own form is a feeling. So when Krishna and Balaram and all the cows and the gopas, there are millions, millions, millions of cows, buffaloes. When they leave, it is truly ecstatic. And the power of the Lord is so powerful that even though there are millions, and millions, it's not much, billions. I'm not so good with numbers, but it is very unlimited, the number of persons that are there, because in the material world, it is very limited, and the rapport we have with the living entities is limited. We see a lot of enemies who just want our own miserable kingdom, but in the world of Krishna, everyone wants to be with Krishna, and the material world is very small compared to the spiritual world. Even billions, billions of universes, it's nothing compared to Golok Vrindavan. So there's a quantity of unlimited beings that want to be with Krishna. So it's inconceivable. It is inconceivable. And Krishna makes a situation so that it can be intimate. How is that possible? Only the Supreme Lord can do that. In this situation, everyone thinks, I am privileged, and everyone sees Krishna looking at him. The cows, the gopas. So everyone, each individual has a disposition, specific qualities. Some they make jokes, some they make funny faces to make people laugh. Some dance, some play the flute, some play the veena, some play the tambura. There's so many different kinds. Some are making poems. There's so many kinds of gopas that have extraordinary qualities. Some they give messages to Krishna, and according to each cowherd boy, what he feels is proximity with Krishna that is very powerful. So Krishna puts into action, the Gopa puts into action his art. That's why when Krishna moves, it's like a theater, like a drama. We see Gopas that are flipping around. They make all kinds of dancing. They chant. The cows are singing also. Everyone is singing. There's a wonderful dust that comes up, the dust of Braj. Even the earth offers her love to the Supreme Lord. And so, Krishna, in this position, he is not the Supreme Lord. He is the object of love of the Lord. That's why Vrindavan is a special place, because in all the other abodes of the Lord, we perceive to a certain level that Krishna is God. But in Vrindavan, this possibility is not there, because the sweetness is so attractive Intimacy is so powerful. And most of all, Krishna, he has this desire to serve his devotees. So for that his devotees can truly capture him, he must take out his divinity. Because when there's no more divinity, no more intimacy, this is when love is the most powerful. You cannot have a deep love if there's a fear, if there's a feeling of strength and opulence and reverence. You cannot experience the true love, the most intimate. However, this day, Krishna, the day before, Krishna killed Agasura. And Agasura, he was a great demon. But what happened most of all is that the demigods, they were witness that the soul of Agasura stayed in the sky for some time. It was really bright, and it merged into the body of Krishna. And this truly attracted the attention. How can a demon receive such mercy? And Brahma were able to see this. So we can say that Brahma somehow, he was illusioned, bewildered. So the acharyas explain that Brahma was not bewildered by the strength of Krishna, but by his own strength. They put the emphasis. It's a fixed point. Sanatan Goswami, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he explains that Brahma was cheated by his own power. And he gives this example in the verse. He says that when a person that is less powerful attacks someone that is more powerful, his own power attacks him. This is why when you attack a powerful Vaishnava, your own power will destroy you. This is why we have to be careful. In the same way, even materially speaking, if you attack a person that is more powerful, your power will go back to you because you'll be massacred. So it's your action that brings back a reaction. And so, Krishna, we know that the Lord, in his divine pastimes, there are always games, a meal, a break, a little nap. This is the nature of the Lord. When he takes rest, his devotees massage his feet, fan him, are singing beautiful songs full of love. They describe his glories. And it allows for Krishna and Balaram to fall into a meditative sleep. But also Krishna, he likes to eat with his friends, and Krishna's meal is very special. And on this day it was explained. So there's one image that is given for the cowherd boys. It's that Krishna is like the center of a lotus, and each gopa, according to his position, is like a petal, lotus petal. Because it is explained in the pastimes of the Lord, each gopa has a position with the Lord. And it was like lotus petals on different lines. So how is that possible to put so many people together? It's not easy to understand. So Krishna's world is an extremely mystical place. It means that one situation can be observed on different planes. Krishna can manifest unlimited scenes also. Because There's a great devotee that was explaining this. If everyone wanted to massage Krishna's feet at the same time, and that it will not be possible, so there will be a great conflict. However, in Vrindavan, it is not possible. So Krishna can manifest in unlimited number of forms, and also the Dham, just so that everyone can be satisfied fully. Can you believe it? It goes up to that point. It is not possible to not have intimacy, to not have exclusivity. What we want, it will be given to us in an unlimited way. In the transcendental world, there exists no frustration whatsoever. All our desires are completely satisfied, and this is why we can give ourselves completely to Krishna. Because when you have nothing to fulfill, what do? You give yourself. So from there, the Lord does the same thing. That's why there's a complete satisfaction. But this doesn't exist in this world. It is not possible. So what happens is that each cowherd boy has some kind of, how can we call that? A bag, a little baggie. They put it around their stick, to bring their snack. There's many ways to put it together. We should not think that bags do not exist. There are systems to do bags that you're tied to the stick or to the waist. It is even explained that a game, one of the games is to steal the snacks and to throw it at each other. So the gopas, they run after the little baggie, and sometimes they can catch it, sometimes not. So the gopas cries, and once he cries, everyone comes to soothe him from his distress. But never there is frustration. It is not possible, because this food is very special, because the mothers cooked, and since the mothers, they have love for Krishna, it is their personified, it's their personal feeling. So the food can never be wasted. It's impossible. Krishna must taste it. This is a great secret. Never can be wasted. Still, it is sent far away. They are games, but that means that even when the gopas, they go with their cows like that, there are games that are created. It is very active. But so they put themselves in the form like that, like lotus petals around him. It is explained that all the gopas, they had in their imagination different kinds of meals, of plates. Either it could manifest itself in the form of a rock, a stone, a leaf, different things. In fact, Vrindavan is a land of miracles. As soon as we want something, it manifests itself. For example, when the gopis, even if they are in the forest, Radharani, if they go to cook for Krishna, everything appears. The pots appear, the ingredients appear. So the Bhagavatam, the description they make is very, it's like more like a summary. We imagine the gopas going to take a leaf, but everything can appear. Everything. The land of Vrindavan is like a wish-fulfilling tree, and the trees can give everything. And so, it is explained, this scene is something extraordinary, because each gopa, he was tasting the food, and he found it extraordinary. He was saying, oh, this Krishna will like. So he was tasting the food before, and then after he gave it to Krishna. So he gave it means they gave the remnants to Krishna. And Brahma was looking at this. Nobody dared to give the remnants to the Lord Narayan. It will be like completely, it will be really improper. Ram did this. Even Lakshman, he was surprised. He said this old lady that tasted all the small fruits to see if they were the best. And when Lakshman saw that, he was not happy. But Ram ate it because she tasted so that it could be the best. She gave all her love. She tasted it so it was tasting the best. And so, Krishna, this is the food he prefers the most. But Brahma was looking at this. At the same time, Krishna, he had food from his left hand. Something that is forbidden, we always take food from the right hand. That doesn't mean he was not eating from the right hand, because it is explained. When he came to get the cows, he had rice with cream, with dry fruits, and he was eating it like that. It was dropping from his fingers. But Brahma was seeing at that, and he was confused. He was confused because he thought, it is strange. It is strange. He had a doubt. Everyone, the demigods, they were kind of apparent reality that the Lord had come on the earth, but at the same time, the divinity of Krishna was something that they could not understand with his intelligence. It was his intelligence. It was simply at the level of the scriptures, because Brahma is the Vedas personified. He is constituted from the Vedas. Brahma, it is explained. And so naturally, this is when he was bewildered. He said, I will test him. So, we don't test the Supreme Lord. But the illusion of Brahma is that there's a certain pride. Prabhupada speaks about pride. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sanatana Goswami, they don't speak about pride. When Krishna manifested this pastime, they don't say to rectify his pride. They say to increase. How to say, how could we explain this? His astonishment. To increase his astonishment and his devotion. But they don't speak about pride. Prabhupada speaks about pride because there is naturally a form of pride. If you think that with your own power you will cheat the Supreme Lord, that means there's some kind of pride there. So, what Krishna did as a pastime, Krishna knows everything, and at the same time, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and Sanatana Goswami explained that in this absorption in his Leela, Krishna does not know everything. He absorbs himself like a gopa. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he goes further. He says that the one who thinks that Krishna is playing a game does not understand the Supreme Lord. Krishna, he absorbs himself really. When Krishna wants the milk of his mother, he is hungry. He depends on his mother. When Mother Yashoda is chastising him, he is afraid. It is interesting. He says this is why a sage cannot understand the Supreme Lord, because since he has the conception of supremacy, he thinks that the Lord is playing a role, that it is a theater. That's what normal people would think. Vishwanath says no. This is why it says that a true sage, he is returned. He is bewildered. He does not understand the Supreme Lord. It is beyond him. He is not trying through rational explanation to give, to explain all the facts about the Supreme Lord. It's not possible. That's what Brahma wanted to do. So,
Les veaux se sont
The
écartés,
calves, they
se sont
they
éloignés.
move they move
Alors
their
les veaux,
way.
bien sûr,
So the calves, of
parfois,
course,
ils s'éloignent, même
sometimes they
si
go away,
Krishna ne va pas faire un
even if
divertissement.
Krishna does not do a
Il
pastime.
y a différentes raisons.
There are different
Une des
reasons.
raisons, c'est que
One of the reasons is that
c'est comme un rasa,
it is
c'est
like a
que les
rasa,
vaches, les veaux,
means the
ils aiment être
calves,
aussi appelés par Krishna.
the calves, they
Ils
like to
aiment que
be called
Krishna
by
les guide
Krishna.
Krishna.
They like when Krishna
Et
is
il y en
looking for
a
them.
qui sont tellement
And
attachés à
some are
Krishna
so
qu'il
attached to
y a
Krishna
différents lilas,
that there are different
différents
leelas,
sentiments
different
chez les
feelings
animaux.
in the animals also.
Donc il y en a qui
So
s'étaient
some were
écartés.
moved
Prabhupada nous dit
further
qu'ils
away.
avaient été attirés
Prabhupada
par la
said they
terre
were
du sucre.
attracted by the
Parce
sweet
qu'à
herb,
Braj, il y a
because in
différents
Braj,
goûts aussi
there are
de
different
l'herbe.
tastes also in
Il y
the
a
herb.
différents pâturages
There are
avec différents
different
goûts, etc.
pasture,
Krishna, c'est tout ça.
pasturing
Il
grounds.
sait qu'il doit donner, il donne du plaisir,
He knows he's
etc.,
giving
etc.
pleasure.
Tout est... c'est
Everything,
pas l'herbe d'ici.
it is not herb like here.
Hein, c'est pas,
It's not grass like
c'est
here.
pas l'herbe. Hein. Il y a de l'herbe vraiment spéciale.
There's grass that is very special also in Braj.
Et donc,
And so,
selon Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada,
according to
les
Bhaktivedanta
veaux
Swami Prabhupada, the calves
éloignés et on les voyait plus.
moved away and we didn't see them anymore.
Ils ont une relation
So
très
the
forte.
Gopas, they have a
Bien
very
qu'ils étaient
strong
avec
relationship.
Krishna en
Although
train de
they
se
were with
divertir et
Krishna,
manger, ils
accom-
avaient toujours quand même
enjoying themselves,
par
they were all
la
still,
Lila Shakti,
through the
par
Lila
l'énergie
Shakti,
de divertissement
by the
du
energy of
Seigneur,
pastime of the Lord,
une connexion
they had a
avec les veaux.
connection
Et quand
with
ils ont
Krishna.
vu que les veaux
And when
n'étaient
they
plus
saw that the
présents,
calves were not
ils ont
present,
ressenti
they felt
ce besoin
this
de les
need
chercher, les
to
protéger, de
look
voir
for
si
them and
quelque chose ne
protect
se
them to
passait
see
pas.
if
Et
everything was
Krishna leur
doing
a dit,
well.
oh,
Krishna said, "Oh,
s'il vous plaît, si vous voulez me
please,
faire plaisir,
if you want to please me,
ce serait mon grand bonheur
it will be
d'aller
my great
chercher
happiness
les veaux.
that I go get the calves
Donc, comme
for
c'était
you."
le
So
plaisir et
since
le
it
bonheur de
was
Krishna,
the pleasure and
les veaux
happiness
les
of
calves
Krishna,
continuaient à faire.
naturally, the Gopas
Ils ont
were okay
continué à
with that.
festoyer,
They
faire des
continued to
blagues,
feast
etc.,
and make
etc.
jokes.
Et Krishna est
And
parti.
Krishna
Et
went
quand
alone.
il est parti, il avait de
And
la
when he
nourriture
left,
dans sa main gauche.
he had food in his left hand.
Et là, il n'a pas trouvé les veaux. En fait,
And there he
c'est
didn't
expliqué
find
que
ego.
Brahma
It is explained that Brahma,
subtilisait les veaux.
he
Mais
stole the cows.
Sanatana Goswami
The cows, but Sanatan Goswami,
explique
he explains
que ces veaux-là
that these
qu'il a
calves
subtilisés,
that he
c'était des
stole,
formes matérielles.
they were material
Ce n'est pas
forms.
les véritables
They were not the
veaux du
true
Seigneur suprême.
cows
Parce
of
que
the
ce
Supreme
n'est pas
Lord.
possible que
Because
Brahma
it is
puisse
not possible
subtiliser
for
les
Brahma
associés
to
éternels du
steal
Seigneur suprême.
the eternal associates of the
C'est
Supreme
comme
Lord.
quand
It is
Ravan,
just
il
like
a
Ravan,
subtilisé Sita,
when he
c'était une
stole
Sita
Sita,
illusoire.
it was an
Et là, il a
illusory Sita.
subtilisé des veaux illusoires.
And so he stole
Alors, comment c'est possible? C'est mystique.
illusory calves. How is that possible?
Comment c'est possible que ça se manifeste?
How is that possible
Ça,
for it to manifest? This is the
de
power
l'énergie du Seigneur.
of the energy of the Supreme Lord.
Et quand Krishna
And when
est
Krishna,
revenu
he came back
avec une anxiété de
with
ne pas avoir
anxiety
retrouvé
for not being able to find the calf, his friends were gone.
pareil, Brahma a
In the same way,
subtilisé des formes
Brahma,
illusoires.
he kidnapped
Et il les a
illusory
fait
forms and he
dormir
made them
sur
sleep
son
on
lit de
the
l'énergie illusoire.
on the bed of the illusory energy.
Et là,
And there,
Krishna était vraiment confus.
Krishna was really confused.
Mais
But
dans ces divertissements,
in
Brahma
these pastimes in Brahma Vrindavan,
il y a toujours une part
there's always a part
où
where
le Seigneur
the Lord
peut aussi
can
comprendre
also understand
et peut aussi
and
manifester
can also
une
manifest
certaine opulence.
a certain
Par
opulence.
exemple, c'est expliqué, les
Some,
acharyas expliquent
for example,
que
the
quand il
Acharyas
tue des
explained
démons,
that
c'est
when he kills
Vishnu
demons,
Narayan
it's Vishnu
qui se
Narayan
manifeste pour tuer
that
les démons.
manifests to kill
Parce
the
que quand
demons.
Krishna avatarise
Because when
dans cette
Krishna
terre, tous les autres
comes on
avatars
earth, all the other avatars, they manifest in the form of the Supreme Lord, because he is the source of all the avatars. So all the other incarnations of the Lord, they come there.
Et donc, qu'est-ce qu'a fait Krishna?
So what did Krishna do? He said, oh, I understand everything now. It's Brahma
Qui veut me tester,
who wants to
jouer avec
test me and play with me.
Alors naturellement, qu'est-ce
So
qu'a
naturally,
fait Krishna?
what did Krishna do?
Alors, ce divertissement
So
a
this
différentes
pastime
causes.
has
Premièrement,
different causes. First of all, this is why these pastimes exist on earth. It is because these mothers wanted to have Krishna like their own child. It was a secret
Et les
desire.
vaches qui ont
And the
aussi un
cows,
sentiment de
who also have
vatsalya
a feeling of
incroyable,
vatsalya
ils voulaient
towards Krishna,
Krishna comme
they
leur
wanted to have Krishna like their calf.
Parce que même les animaux
Because even the animals, they
une
have
douce affection pour
sweet
Seigneur.
affection
C'est
for the
très
Lord.
doux.
It is very
Donc,
sweet.
qu'est-ce qu'a fait Krishna?
So what did Krishna do?
Il devait donc
He
combler
had
les désirs de ses
to
dévots.
fulfill
Il
the
s'est
desires
servi
of
de
his
Brahma pour
devotees.
ça.
And he used Brahma
Donc,
for
il a
that.
pris toutes les formes,
So he took all the
des
forms of the gopas,
leur senteur de corps,
the smell of their body,
leur voix,
their
leurs
voice,
sentiments,
their feeling,
leurs attitudes,
their attitude,
parfaitement,
everything perfectly.
parfait. Tous les veaux parfaitement.
All the calves perfectly also.
Même.
The same
Et il a continué
exact
ses
copy.
divertissements.
And he continued his pastimes.
Et ce qui se passe, c'est
So
que ça
what
a duré
happened
1 an.
is that
Et
this
ce
was going on
jour-là,
for 1
c'était le
year.
jour de l'anniversaire
And
de
this
Balaram.
day
Donc,
was
Balaram
the day
n'a
of
pas
the
pu voir
birthday of
ce
Balaram.
qui s'est passé.
So Balaram wasn't able to see what
Et
happened.
pendant 1
And
an,
for 1 year,
Krishna a fait ses
Krishna
divertissements
did
à
his
travers toutes ses
pastimes
formes.
through all his
Et
forms.
naturellement, vous pouvez imaginer
And naturally, you can imagine
que l'amour
that the
des
love
mères
of
et
a mother
l'amour des vaches,
and the love of cows,
ils sont devenus
it became
graduellement
gradually
illimités. Et
unlimited.
alors, ce qui est vraiment intéressant,
So
c'est
what
que
is
les
really
acharyas
interesting is
expliquent un
that
point
the Acharyas
philosophique
explain a
intéressant.
philosophical point that is interesting.
Il dit
They
Krishna
say
a pris la même
Krishna
apparence,
took the same appearance,
le même sentiment,
the same
tout
feeling,
pareil. Donc on
everything the
pourrait se
same.
dire
So
qu'à
we could
partir de
say
là,
that from there,
l'amour des mères n'aurait pas pu
the love of these mothers
augmenter.
was not
Parce
able
que c'était le
to,
même enfant.
to increase because it
C'est
was the
l'original
same
d'origine de tout.
child, because
Mais
Krishna
la
is in the origin
différence,
of everything.
et c'est que comme
But the
le Seigneur est
difference,
illimité,
it's because
et que
this
les
Lord is
mères ont
unlimited,
commencé donc à avoir
and the
un
mothers, they
sentiment
started
quand
to
même
have
plus
a
fort,
stronger
puis Krishna
feeling.
réciproquait.
So Krishna
Donc
was
leur sentiment était plus
reciprocating.
fort, Krishna
So
réciproquait.
the
Leur
feeling
sentiment
was
était plus fort, Krishna. Donc
more
chaque
powerful.
jour
Krishna
c'était
was
plus fort.
reciprocating. So
Et à
every
la
day
fin,
was
ça égalait
stronger.
l'amour qu'ils avaient pour Krishna.
And at the end, it was equaling the love they had for
Donc Krishna
Krishna.
était obligé
So
quand
Krishna
même
was obliged
de
to
manifester une
manifest a
forme
form
de chaque patte qui était
of
de plus en
each
plus
gopa that was more and more wonderful.
Et les veaux,
And the
pareil.
cows, the same thing
Vous
also.
comprenez ce point?
You understand this
C'est
point?
vraiment intéressant
It's
parce
really
que
interesting.
dans la théorie,
Because
Krishna
in theory,
aurait dû juste
Krishna
être
just needed
comme Subal ou comme Shridhar
to be like
ou
Subal and
Vasudhara,
Sridham or
etc.
Vasudham,
Non, mais en
but
fait,
no.
dû à l'affection des
But
parents,
because of
dû
the
à l'affection
affection
de
of
tout
the
le monde,
parents, of everyone,
et tout le monde,
and everyone,
ça c'est vrai,
this is brush.
c'est quelque chose de
It is something
vraiment de
that is
merveilleux.
very wonderful.
Et donc 6 jours
And so,
avant
6 days before
l'anniversaire de Balaram,
the birthday of
il a
Balaram,
lu ça.
Balaram he
Il
saw
s'est
that
dit,
and he said,
Parce que, en
that's
fait,
weird. Because
Vishwanath Chakravarti
Vishwanath
explique
Chakravarti
que
Thakur
même
explains
l'énergie
that
du Seigneur
even the
avait
energy of the
quand même
Lord
recouvert Balaram aussi.
is
Vous vous
still
rendez compte?
covered also.
Parce que
Still
pendant
covered
presque
by
un
the
an,
consciousness
Balaram,
of
il était
Balaram
là
because
aussi.
even for 1 year Balaram was bewildered.
Il n'a pas vu.
He didn't see that Krishna was playing as the gopas and the
Les
calves.
vaches étaient Krishna.
And the
Tout le
cows
monde
were
était
the cows
Krishna,
were
Balaram n'a pas vu.
Krishna. Everyone was Krishna. Balaram did
Et
not
par
see
la
that. He was covered by the illusory
miséricorde de
energy.
l'énergie du Seigneur suprême,
But
pourtant,
by the
Balaram,
power
le
of the
Seigneur
illusory
suprême, il a pu
energy,
voir. Il
Balaram
c'est
then at
vraiment
some point
étrange,
was
c'est pas
able to see.
possible.
He said, that's really
Un
strange.
telle relation d'amour, c'est
Such
possible.
relationship
Là,
of
il a dit,
love,
c'est
it's
ça, en fait, je
impossible. He
comprends.
told his brother, he
Toutes
said,
les
I
vaches
understand all the calves,
et tous nos compagnons, en fait,
all
c'est
the
toi.
calves and our friends, it's you.
Incroyable. Hein?
Incredible, no?
Et donc, le jour de
And so the
l'anniversaire
day
de
of the
Balaram,
birthday
encore une
of
fois,
Balaram again,
Balaram était pas là.
Balaram was not there.
Brahma est revenu.
Brahma came back.
Vous vous rendez compte, les lilas de
Can you
Krishna,
believe
c'est
it? The
tellement
Leelas of
parfait.
Krishna, it's so perfect.
Brahma est revenu.
Brahma
Qu'est-ce
came
qui se
back.
passe?
And what
Brahma, il
happened?
voit
Brahma
Krishna
sees
se divertir
Krishna
de la même façon,
is enjoying in the same way,
même situation
in
avec
the
les
same
amis, les
situation
vaches,
with
et
his
les
friends and the
vaches.
cows. And he said, what's happening?
Et là, c'est un grand choc.
And then it's a great shock for
Parce que
Brahma.
Brahma, il est le créateur.
Because Brahma is the creator.
C'est comme un grand contrôleur.
It's like a great
Un
controller,
puissant
a
contrôleur.
powerful controller.
Quand tu as un ego comme ça, par exemple, si Simon lui permettait de créer
When you have an ego like this, so if Simon will be able to create everything, he will have
ego conséquent, quand
a
même.
false ego that will be
Ah,
consequent.
c'est moi,
He said,
c'est moi, Brahma.
I am Brahma.
Donc Brahma,
So Brahma,
il a été,
he was
il n'a pas compris.
He was shocked. He didn't understand what's
Et
happening.
puis, tout le monde,
And so
tous
everyone,
les Krishnas,
all the
jouaient le jeu
Krishnas,
parfaitement.
were playing the perfect game.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
And they were thinking, what's happening? What's
Et on
happening?
rentre là dans
They came,
l'illusion.
and
Krishna, il
now he's
crée
coming in
une
illusion. Krishna
sa
created an
propre
illusion
illusion, il a son
his,
propre pouvoir,
by
son
his
propre
own power,
pouvoir.
so his own power will go against him. So Brahma did not understand anything anyway. I said, what's happening? Did I take them or not?
Donc par son pouvoir mystique,
So with his
il
mystic
retourne.
power, Brahma
Même
goes
là, c'est
back.
expliqué. Alors
And
dans le
then even
Bhagavatam,
there it
c'est
is
pas
explained.
clairement
In
dit dans le
Bhagavatam it
verset,
is
on
not
va
clearly
donner
said in
pourquoi
the
c'est expliqué.
verses, but in the
Et
commentaries
il
it
est
is
allé
explained
revoir là
that
où il
he
avait
went
mis en fait
back to where
les faux padres et les faux vaches
he
qui
put the
dormaient
false
encore à
gopas
cet
and the
endroit.
false cows, and they
Et
were
donc quand
still
il est
waiting
revenu,
there.
il a
So when
dit
he came
qu'est-ce
back,
que
he
c'est?
said, but what's happening?
C'est Krishna.
It's Krishna.
Qu'est-ce qui se passe?
What's happening?
Vous vous rendez compte?
Can you believe
Et
it?
là,
And then
le jeu de Krishna, c'est ça
Krishna's
qui est
game,
merveilleux.
that's what is
Il
wonderful.
s'est manifesté
It
en tant que
manifested
chaque
as
Narayan,
each,
chaque vache et
every
chaque pâtre, qui
every
était
gopa
dans
and every calf
l'univers
manifested as a Narayan, which was in
où il y avait
a
tous les
universe
êtres vivants qui
where they were all
glorifiaient
living
le
entities
Seigneur
who were
Narayan. Et
glorifying
il y
Lord
avait
Narayan.
Brahma.
And there were
Alors, chaque
Brahmas,
Brahma, dans
each
chaque
Brahma in
univers
each
avait quelque chose.
universe
Et
with
Brahma
Shiva,
a pu la voir
and Brahma was
aussi,
able
voir tout en
had the
même temps.
possibility to see everything at the same time. Wow.
Vous vous rendez compte?
Can you believe
La
it?
puissance.
The
Et
power.
là, ça montait là.
And
Et
it
d'un
was
seul
going
coup,
going higher.
tout a disparu.
And everything all of a sudden disappeared, and there was only Krishna looking for his calves and his gopas. And Brahma was observing that.
Alors,
So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says still that Brahma was on his swan, and it was so powerful he fell down from the swan.
Il s'est éclaté par terre.
He
Il ne pouvait plus bouger.
he was on the floor, he could not move anymore. He was completely, it was so powerful
Brahma, il l'a reçu,
because what Brahma received, that
paralysé.
he was completely
Tellement
paralyzed.
c'était trop, quoi.
So much it was too
Alors,
much
faut
for
pas
him.
imaginer, c'est
So we
illimité.
can't imagine. It's
Krishna, il a
unlimited.
fait voir.
What Krishna
C'est
he showed him, it is inconceivable.
Et là, il se retrouve dans la
And then he finds
situation où il
himself in a
réalise,
situation where
j'ai
he
offensé mon
realizes
Seigneur.
that I offended my Lord.
Pire encore,
Worst
Krishna est
even,
l'origine.
Krishna is the origin.
Hein? Govindam Adipurusham Kalam Dajami. Krishna est l'origine.
Krishna is the origin.
Et donc,
And so
c'est expliqué que Brahma,
it is
il
explained
a
that
fait
Brahma,
Dandavat, mais
he did
Dandavat,
Dandavats,
parce que
but
il
Dandavats
regardait
many
Krishna,
times
il
because he
faisait
was
Dandavat,
looking
il
at
ne pouvait pas
Krishna.
s'empêcher
He
de
was
faire
doing
Krishna, il se
Dandavats,
frottait,
but he
il
could not stop.
pleurait,
But
il
looking at
retombait
Krishna,
sur toutes les faces,
he was
parce qu'il voulait
falling,
rendre- il a quatre
standing
faces,
and
c'est le
falling
petit
again on
Brahma,
his
il a
every
quatre
face.
têtes, c'est le
Is the
petit
smallest
univers.
Brahma, it's the smallest
Il y a des
universe.
Brahmas à 10 000 têtes,
There's
je sais
Brahmas
pas
with
combien.
10,000
Et
heads,
il
and I don't know
voulait
how
de
many.
toutes ces têtes
And
pouvoir
with
rendre
all
son
his heads,
hommage
he
à
wanted to
Krishna.
offer his obeisances to Krishna.
Vous vous rendez compte?
Can you believe it?
Et le pire,
And the
c'est que
worst
Krishna faisait
is that
semblant de pas
Krishna
comprendre.
was faking not understanding the
Qui est
situation.
cette personne?
Who is this person, this weird person?
C'est les lilas de Krishna.
These are the Leelas of Krishna.
Donc Brahma a offert des prières.
So Brahma offered prayers.
Donc,
So
le Seigneur est inconcevable.
the Lord is
C'est pour ça
inconceivable.
qu'on devrait jamais
That's
penser
why
qu'on
we should
connaît
never
quelque
think
chose.
that we know something.
C'est une des prières de
This
Brahma.
is one of the prayers
On
of
devrait
Brahma.
jamais penser
We should never think
qu'on connaît quelque chose.
that
sur
we
le
know
Seigneur.
something on the Supreme Lord.
Le Seigneur suprême a des
The
visages
Supreme
sans,
Lord has unlimited faces.
sans limite.
Unlimited.
C'est pourquoi
That's why
chacun a le droit d'avoir une foi.
each person has the right to have a particular faith,
Parce qu'on ne peut pas tout comprendre.
because we cannot understand everything.
C'est que
Do we?
Krishna
But what
vit
we
au
know
cœur de
is that
chaque
Krishna lives, inhabits the heart of every living entity as the super soul.
Et que dans cette
And
expansion
so,
du Seigneur,
in this expansion of the Lord reciprocates with every living entity.
et que dès que quelqu'un devient
And that as soon as
qualifié,
someone becomes more qualified, he can take shelter of the Lord and have his protection.
Or, Brahma
However,
a eu la
Brahma
protection
had the
de
protection
Krishna.
of Krishna
Parce qu'il l'a glorifié comme
because he glorified him.
Brahma a glorifié Krishna comme
Brahma
étant son
glorified him as
père. Qu'est-ce qu'a
being
fait-
like
qu'est-ce
his
que fait le
father.
père pour un
What
fils?
does the father
Il
do
veut lui donner la
for his
miséricorde.
son?
C'est
He wants
pourquoi
to give
il lui a
him
permis
mercy.
d'accéder
That's
à une
why
dévotion
He allowed
plus
him
intime et
to
plus
access
complète.
for a more intimate and elevated
Srila
devotion.
Bhaktisiddhanta
Srila Bhaktisiddhanta
Srila
Saraswati Thakur,
Prabhupada
Srila
explique
Prabhupada
que
explains
notre Brahma,
that our
il
Brahma,
médite
he
sur
meditates
Krishna en
on
tant qu'une
Krishna
copine.
as a gopi.
C'est pas un Brahma ordinaire.
He's not an ordinary
Différents
Brahma.
acharyas comme
Because
Sanatana
different
Goswami
acharyas like
expliquent qu'il y a des
Sanatan
Brahmas
Goswami
qui sont même
explained that there are
impersonnalistes.
certain Brahmas that are even
C'est pas que
impersonalist.
tous les Brahmas sont
It's
des
not that
purs
all
dévots.
Brahmas are pure
Le nôtre est
devotees,
un pur dévot.
but our Brahma is a pure devotee.
Donc voilà, le temps est
So,
passé.
time has passed.
La finalité de l'histoire,
The
c'est qu'on
conclusion
ne
of
doit
the
pas
story is that we
prendre
should
refuge
not
dans notre propre
take
force,
shelter in our
mais
own
dans la force
strength,
du Seigneur.
but in the strength of the Supreme Lord.